Hello and welcome to the Daily Mail for Tuesday, the 4th of October 2022. Today's Millwall news: more word salad from Gary Rowett. This is from southernnews.co.uk. You have to hold your hands up and say it didn't work. Millwall boss accepts responsibility for Blackburn defeat. The Lions fielded the same team at Ewood Park as the one that beat Blackpool before the international break. Gary Rowett has accepted the responsibility for Saturday's defeat to Blackburn Rovers, admitting that he got the team selection. The Lions named an unchanged lineup for their trip to Ewood Park, but they were unable to repeat the same performance that earned them a 2-1 win against Blackpool in mid-September. Rowett admitted that he didn't want to change a winning team, instead hoping that consistency would be able to help his side pick up their first away win of the campaign. We won the game previously, even though it was before the international break, so I wanted to give the players an opportunity to see if we could build something and build a little bit of momentum, he told News at 10. It's been a really tough thing to do this season. It feels so sporadic and difficult to do. Even just getting games back to back when we win them feels like it's quite hard. We did make some adjustments. We played a midfield three. We played a bit flatter within that system. So again, we tried to do one or two things within that system to try and see if it would work. Ultimately, we got more or less the same result. That was the thinking behind it. Unfortunately, as a manager, sometimes you have to hold your hands up and say it didn't work. The issue that Rowett faces is the fact that Millwall need to improve in both attack and defence, so making a tactical adjustment in one area of the pitch could leave the other area in an even worse position. In Lancashire, he opted to play George Honeyman in a deeper role, create a flat midfield three behind Zion Fleming, Benicophobe, although the Lions ended up having just 2 shots on target. However, Rowett doesn't believe that the tactics cost them the game over the weekend, instead highlighting the individual errors that allowed Rovers to go 2-0 up after 2 quick fire goals in the second half. It's possible, reasonably well, that you can get bodies forward using a 5-3-2. You go away from home and you don't pass the ball well, and the front two end up being isolated. We don't really get that at home, so it's not really an issue at home. Well, I don't think our structure and shape had a massive bearing on the result. I think it was our mistakes that we made. That's what affects the game. If you look at the Championship, every time we scored first, we won the game. Kept a couple of clean sheets in those games. Every time we concede, it almost works the other way. So you can see how important that first goal is. Then why do you defend for 45 minutes? And don't try and attack until about the 60th minute or the 75th minute. If someone bends one in from 30 yards, you obviously hold your hands up. If you make a mistake, it feels like a bit of pill to swallow sometimes when you know how important that first goal is. Then why did we only have 2 shots in the first half? Why are we? Scoring the first goal is so important. Why don't we actually try to fucking do that? Like I said, more word salad from Gary Rowett. Apparently that had 1,900 views, so I'm sure there are a lot of people scratching their heads. A lot of Millwall fans scratching their heads over that one. Now, talking of Gary Rowett, how did he get on in the marathon? Well, he said before that he had a target of getting a sub 4-hour marathon. Unfortunately, he didn't get that. So Millwall boss Gary Rowett completed the 2022 TCS London Marathon on Sunday, raising over £1,000 in the process. The manager ran the 26.2-mile course in an incredible time of 4 hours and 4 minutes this past weekend, crossing the line in aid of the charity, who are a big part of the community around the Den. Yeah, word is apparently he started off slowly the first 13 miles. After about 20 miles, he put on some new shoes, and then he really went for it the last 6 miles, but he just missed out. Yeah, not really. That's a bit of satire there. So, and then they go on to talk about the Lions Food Hub and all of the things they're doing. But yeah, so Gary Rowett, 4 hours 4 minutes. Moving on now to this. Let's move on to this one first. There are 267 certified nut jobs following Millwall because they bought tickets to go to Rotherham United. This is our 11 away games without a win. So crazy people. Not only that, but there's a train strike. I imagine a few of them will be people who live up that way. It's easier to get to this game than it is to a game at a den. But yeah, 276. And if you want to watch this game and watch to see how bad we are, and get your blood boiling and your heckles raised, there you go. You can buy a match pass. It's gonna be on Sky Sports Red Button, I believe. And it's also, if you've got that, and it's also giving me on Millwall TV. So what you need is a Millwall profile, and then you log in, and then you go to Millwall TV and go to passes available, and then buy a match pass for £10. So yeah, £10 to watch the worst football you'll probably see this season. And yeah, so so you log in and then you go to show subscription, and it should give you an option there to buy it £10. I have. I did it today. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of people genuinely pissed off about the situation at the club. It feels like there's something boiling underneath. Maybe this is all nonsense because we're looking at from the outside in. But here's the thing: John Berylson, Steve Kavanagh, Millwall Football Club, they're making a lot of effort to improve things around Millwall. Yesterday, when I went to the under-21 game, I went into the toilets, brand spanking new toilets. They look absolutely fucking brilliant. The toilets before were kind of like, this is in the executive bit. They were kind of like just your normal office style toilets. And the ones they built now, fancy dancy, lovely stuff. They kind of look like a mid-level hotel toilet. Decent, you know? They didn't have to do that. But they wanted to improve things. They wanted to take it up. And I don't know if you've been onto the Sevenoaks District Council website planning applications and seen Mill's planning application for the new training ground. They put a hell of a lot of work into that. Not only money, time, effort, all sorts of things they have to do, hoops they have to jump through, forms they have to fill in, surveys they have to complete, people they have to write to. They put in so much effort to get that set up. And the club's making so much strides, trying to improve things as good as they can. And you've got this shit football that we're getting served up week after week. And we're not even getting the results now. If we got there were people when we were getting the results, they weren't happy with the football. They were moaning. It happened under Neil Harrison. It happened under Gary Rowett too. But at least we were getting the results. We've still got the shit football, and now we're not even getting the results. So we will see. But it feels like if we lose this game, there's going to be a whirlwind at the home game against Middlesbrough. And quite a few people have been reporting they've been getting emails from Millwall offering them codes with 75% discount for Middlesbrough tickets. Now, again, there's going to be a train strike on Saturday as well. So, but even then, maybe the ticket sales are down. Maybe people are choosing. They haven't got that much money. Winter's coming. Gas bills are kicking in. And they're thinking, well, fuck that. I'm not spending money to go and watch that. I'm not going to do it. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know, but there are codes being emailed out to people to get 75% of tickets for Middlesbrough. That is not good, is it? That really isn't good. But you don't have to spend money to go to Rotherham. You can watch it at home for £10. And Rotherham United have a new manager. He will take charge of the team for Millwall. So this is another. Oh no, here we go. The players will be up for it to try and impress the new manager, and we'll see what impact that has. Maybe he confuses them. He comes in and tells them to play this way, and they don't really know what he means. I don't know that we might get lucky that way, but I'm not too sure. So Rotherham United have appointed Matt Taylor as their new manager, confirmed that he will be in the dugout for tomorrow's home game against Millwall. This is from LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. The Millers were granted permission to speak to former Charlton and Flex centre-back over the weekend, and Taylor signed a deal with the Championship club until 2026. He will be assisted by former Crystal Palace midfielder Wayne Carlisle. Rotherham's statement confirmed that there will be no watching brief for the 40-year-old, instead getting straight down to work for a visit of the South Londoners. The pair have met the Scottish staff at Downwood and are now preparing to take charge of their first Sky Bet Championship fixture against Millwall on Wednesday night, said a club statement. So Bo, did he take training on Tuesday or day? So that's 5 p.m. So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Taylor has been identified as the young, ambitious, and intelligent manager that the Millers board were looking for, and not only does he boast those credentials, he also has form for following a long-term occupant of a managerial post. The 40-year-old was the man tasked with creating a new legacy at Exeter City following the departure of Paul Tisdale, and therefore is well placed to take up the mantle following Paul Warne's exit from Assail New York Stadium. Rotherham have taken 11 points from their 6 home matches this season, putting them 6 in the table based just on home results. Millwall have taken 12 points at the Den with their away results, 1 point from a possible 15, impeding their progress. So, head to head, I normally use 11v11.com, but it's being a bit weird, so we're using Soccer Base, which is not ideal. Trips to Rotherham for Millwall, not very good. First one was actually in the League Cup in 1963, which I think was like in the League Cup starting in 1961, so very early on in the League Cup. We lost 5-2. And in the league, 1966, lost 3-1. 68, lost 2-0. Bit of a gap, and in 1976 we actually won 2-1. That was our first win there. Then we won again the season after in the League Cup 2-1. Then a 1-1 draw in 1978. Although I'm not sure, for some reason that's got. See, I told you why this thing is a mess. It's got 5 games happening the same day. But we'll just have to say it's true. I don't know. So apparently we played them in the FA Cup in 1978 and drew 1-1. And obviously the replay must have happened. Obviously it didn't happen the same day. Probably a week later. I don't know. And then Division 3, 1980, lost 2-1. 1980 again, different season. I lost 1-0. 1985, 0-0. Then the gap, 1997, another 0-0. We're not winning up there. We've only won once so far in all the games so far. 2. Lost once twice. Another 0-0, 1997. Lost 3-2 in 2000. And 2002, another 0-0. In 2002-03 season, this was the opening day, game of the season when we got absolutely smashed 6-0. We just knocked everyone for 6. And they went up there then on just after Christmas and actually won that 3-1. So a bit of revenge there. And then another 0-0. and then another 1-1, and then we won 3-2, and then we lost 2-1 in 2015, lost 1-0 in 2018, and then last time out we went up there and won 1-0. So it's not a place where we win quite easily. We can win up there, but there's plenty of defeats and quite a few 0-0s, to be honest with you. So could go anyway. It's not a given. It's certainly not a given. This is David Pratt's prediction. I'm going to get into this now. I'm sure we're nowhere near the top. So here we are. David Pratt's prediction for this game is Rotherham United 0, Millwall 2. Why? Why? Just why? Don't know where he's got that from. Okay. This is from whoscored.com. Let's switch this like that. So the last 6 games at Rotherham between Rotherham and Millwall, 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 defeats. 6 goals for each team, 5 yellow cards for them, 8 yellow cards for us. Pretty even. Pretty even. Spanning over 17 years from 2003 to 2020. Clean sheets for Millwall, 2. 2 out of 6. Clean sheets for Rotherham, 2. So, again, pretty even. Some match facts on the right hand side. Millwall have been drawing at half time and losing at full time in the last 3 away matches in the Championship. Yeah, we stopped this nasty habit of conceding 2 goals within the first 20 minutes, and we kind of pushed that back into the second half. So we're getting better, but slowly by slowly. We scored our first away goal of our own last time out against Blackburn. Coincidentally, they played Cardiff today and they made 3 changes. Even though they won the game, they didn't play the same team again. Millwall failed to win their last 11 away matches in the Championship. Yes. Millwall have kept a clean sheet in their last 3 matches against Rotherham in all competition. So this is including home games, because as you can see, we only kept a clean sheet in the that last game up there. So that must be including games at home. Rotherham has seen under 2.5 goals in their last 4 matches against Millwall in all competition. Indeed. Now let's scroll down and have a look at tables, form tables. Here's the table overall. Not a lot in it. 14 to 17. They've drawn 5 games. We've won 4, lost 6, drawn 1. Scored 12, same as them, but conceded 16. Double the amount of goals it conceded. That is the full table. We look at the home table. Rotherham are nearly as good as us at home. They've won 3, drawn 2, lost 1, 11 goals scored, only 4 goals conceded. So how does David Brown think we're going to win that 2-0? I do not know. But away, so you've got the 6 best, pretty much similar to them. Look, we're pretty much similar teams. It's the home form that's keeping us up the table, and it's the away form is absolutely dog shit. They haven't won away. We haven't won away. They've drawn 3 away games. They got more away points than us, and they've only played 4 away games. But we've been to Burnley away. We've been to Burnley away. We've been to Norwich away. We went to where did we go? Swansea. So we haven't been to Rotherham away, have we? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that. So here's the away games. These are pretty decent teams to go away. Look at Sheffield United. All of our away games, to be fair, they're pretty hard, no? Come on, we're playing devil's advocate. Did you really expect us to get any wins out of this? No, but I expect us to win at Rotherham. I don't know why I've just seen their head to head, but I do. We probably could have drawn with Blackburn, but Burnley were way better than us. Norwich switched it up in the second half and stopped shooting every time they got the ball, and actually crafted a goal and ended up winning. Swansea shot themselves in the foot, and Sheffield United were just outclassed us in the first 20 minutes again. So you can see, for every single away game so far this season in the league, conceded 2 goals and failed to score in 3 of them. Now Rotherham, they beat Reading 4-0 at home. We couldn't beat Reading at home. So they did lose to Morecambe, but that was in the cup. So I don't know how many changes they made for that. They beat Blackpool at home 3-0, not 2-1, 3-0. They last time out they lost to Wigan. Now they didn't have a manager. They didn't have a proper manager. Got a new manager now. He's had 1 day of training probably, or if he takes training tomorrow, maybe 2. What can he really do again in that short time? Probably not much, but I'm sure they need to impress him to stay in the team. But how big is their squad? Do they really have players on the fringes that are not being played that can be put in if the manager likes them? Who knows? Maybe that's I don't know. They beat Rotherham, so they draw with Watford. So their home games have been pretty easy, apart from Reading. You'd say Birmingham, yeah, they probably should have won that. Watford, a bit of a basket case. Probably played them at the right time. Blackpool, yeah, I mean, Blackpool favourites for relegation. And Wigan, newly promoted team, they ended up losing to them and they didn't have a manager. So here we go. Are we as good as Wigan or are we as bad as Blackpool? What's going to happen tomorrow? Who knows? Here's the strengths and weaknesses. A lot of strengths there for Millwall. Also a lot of weaknesses though. Styles of playing. And match forecast. Millwall will dominate in the air. Extremely likely. Millwall will steal the ball from the opposition often. Extremely likely. Millwall will dominate in the air. I wonder what team Gary Rowett will put out for this one. Maybe playing Cresswell up front. He's our top scorer though, so why not play Cresswell up front and just ping the ball along to him. He can head it down to Zion Fleming and Zion Fleming smash it and bang in the net. Let's go old school. Big man, little man. So let's move on now to their actual prediction. We scroll past all this stuff. Here's the match facts that we've already seen. Except for there's one there. Millwall have conceded at least 2 goals in the last 5 away matches. Yeah, I just said that. Prediction. Life after Paul Warne started in the worst possible way for Rotherham, as they were beaten 2-0 at home by fellow Championship returnees Wigan. Lee Peltier will take charge again on Wednesday night, as the Millers look to claim their first win in 3. Millwall lacked the attacking firepower to beat Blackburn on Saturday afternoon, as they slumped to a 2-1 away defeat. Fans are running out of patience with Gary Rowett, the playing style going stale in South London indeed, and it's going stale everywhere we go. Again, what team is Gary Rowett going to put out? You just feel like he's like a boxer in like the 11th round. He's had taken a battering. He's just stumbling around. He doesn't know what's doing. His right eye's puffed up and it's closed up. He can't see out of it. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just stumbling all over the place. What is he gonna do? What team is he gonna pick? Well, we know it's gonna be 3-5-2 because hey, it's not the tactics, dummy. It's not the tactics. It's the individual mistakes, which the tactics have at least no part in contributing to. despite the fact that Malone was fucking standing on his own nowhere, leaving Murray Wallace to pick up the guy on behind Malone, and then he had to make a decision: do I run over here and mark him, or do I stay and then leave a massive gap for them to play the ball through, or do I stay in formation? And then so he had to stay there, and then when the ball did go over Malone's head, and Murray Wallace is the one who was fucking running back to get it, he couldn't get there in time. And then you got Long and Cresswell. Apparently Long was a great communicator. But when he comes for the ball, he can't tell Cresswell to fucking leave it. It's just a bit of a shambles, isn't it? You've got players tweeting about being positive, and you've got players liking tweets about players should have been subbed and things like that. We should be winning this game. We should be. You could see after their manager left, they're a bit clueless. They lost to Wigan 2-0 at home. But the new manager's already jumping in. Now, what can he do? He just comes in and tells them to play a certain way. I'm sure they can't just switch it on like that. I'm not too sure. If you ask them to play the same way that they've been playing, he speaks of persistence there, and then what's the point? Then we could end up beating them because they'll just play the way they did against Wigan. So, but I get the feeling the way we play is complete fucking dog shit. You saw it in the first story that I showed you. Gary Rowett's first goal so important that when you score that, you basically guaranteed yourself to win or at least draw in the game. Then why don't we try and fucking score for 45, 60 minutes? What's that about? If you literally said, I know this thing, your words and your actions are not matching up. You say one thing and then do another. What's that about? Are you a woman? So, I'm going to give my prediction now. It could go anyway. It could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if we won it quite comfortably, and then everyone who hates Rowett has to shut the fuck up for a couple of weeks until we lose again. Will not surprise me at all. But then it would not surprise me if we carry on playing badly, because the players they look off, they don't look happy, they look all a bit weird and flustered. None of them are playing with happiness on their faces. They all seem a bit confused and upset. So none of them seem to have the fucking bollocks to G everyone else up and get things going. You've got a goalkeeper who can't even fucking shout out for a ball. Tell them to leave it. So, prediction time. I think it's going to be Rotherham 1, Millwall 1. I think it's going to be 1-1. Yeah, I'm going to say 1-1. But like I said, could go anyway. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.